Errol Spence Terence Crawford, final fight predictions, biggest keys to victory. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red. But let's talk about it. Alright, y'all, so we are hours away from the big showdown, undisputed welterweight championship of the world. The first time a undisputed champion will be crowned for the welterweight division. Huge fight for both of these guys. Most likely the biggest fight of both of them's careers. Perhaps one of the biggest build-ups ever in the sport of boxing, because it's taken so long for this fight to actually happen and get put together. And there was so much bad blood and hurt feelings and this fan versus that fan, and I just wanted to break all that down, give my 2 cents for anybody listening.
I know he's confident. I know he's big. He's strong. He's this big guy that everybody considered a monster. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to show everybody why I'm the greatest fighter of this era.
All right, y'all. So the big fight is finally here. I want to give my keys to victory, and I just want to give an all-around final prediction for this fight. Now, what are the keys to victory for Errol Spence to walk out of there with the undisputed championship of the world?
Why don't you take your brittle butt back to the cornfield and give the scarecrow a lunch break?
Me personally, I think that Errol Spence has to not only do what he's always done, which is pump that jab, work everything off that jab. I think he has to establish his power early on in the fight. He's going to have to make Bud Crawford not want to engage with him because he's afraid of getting hit by a big shot. And I've never seen Errol Spence really have a problem with establishing himself as the dominant fighter. He did it versus Mikey, Danny, Ugas, several other fighters.
Negro, please.
And he did it for 12 rounds straight against a lot of these fighters. I think that that's more impressive actually than scoring a knockout early within a fight. If you score a knockout, it means 9 times out of 10 your opponent was severely overmatched, and you probably knew that, and you trained for the overmatched opponent. You trained correctly for that overmatched opponent, and you most likely end up knocking them out. I don't find that very impressive unless it's versus equal competition. Errol Spence, on the other hand, even if it's versus a lesser opponent, being able to take that guy 12 rounds is very impressive, because a lot of fighters actually don't have the stamina to pull off full 12-round fights and do it consistently, and not look tired after the fight, not look worn out and drained after the fight.
I feel like somebody getting beat up is way worse than getting knocked out. If you get knocked out, that guy's not, he didn't take any punishment, especially if you get knocked out early. But if somebody's just beating on you nonstop, guys don't come back from that.
Errol Spence is one of the few names that I can mention that I think even after 12 rounds, he can go another round. He can go 2 more rounds. He can go 3 more rounds if it was legally permitted in the sport of boxing, which is not anymore. It might be in some other countries, but not in America anymore. There are very few fighters, I think, that could actually pull that off. I think Manny Pacquiao's one. I think Floyd Mayweather's one of those guys because of his style of fighting. He doesn't exude a lot of energy, so he's able to go to the 12th round. I think Gervonta Davis is actually another one. I think because of the way and his style of fighting, the way he fights, he's actually able to conserve a lot more energy. And, I'm pretty sure he picked that up from Mayweather. And not only that, he can knock out caliber opponents, like opponents that are on his level. Now, the thing about Manny Pacquiao threw a lot of punches, so you would expect for him to always be gassed out. Now, there were some fights that once they got to the ending of the fight, you could see the look on Pacquiao's face and tell that he was tired because of the amount of punches that he threw. But he's one of those few guys, and I can't think of too many that can actually throw that many punches and still go 12 rounds. You know, he's a testament to throwback fighters. And
breaking people's will. Like, it's different when you break a grown man will, when it's just you and him in the ring. You look over at his face in the corner and you see that, you know, you breaking him down.
You know, once again, for Errol Spence to win this fight, he's going to have to stand on everything that he's done up until now and deliver power early in the fight to make Terence Crawford not want to engage and to back him up, keep him on his toes. Now, for Terence Crawford, I think it's a little different. I think Terence Crawford, he has to do some new things. He's got to bring something new to the boxing ring that he really hasn't shown in other fights. You know, not to say that he can't do them. He just hasn't shown them in other fights. And to me, I think the number one thing he's going to have to be able to do is to establish some type of power. You know, that's one thing we've never really seen him do unless it's versus lesser competition.
Wait a minute. Are you set tripping off the bin here? You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Hey, you can say what you want to say. If you're a Crawford fan, you'll most likely say that it wasn't lesser competition. You just mad because he knocked guys out and Errol Spence couldn't. I'm pretty sure if you put those same guys in the ring with Errol Spence that Terence Crawford was able to knock out, he's going to do them the same way or even worse. David Evansian, he would have knocked him out. Sean Porter, he beat him for a title belt. So, you know, knocking him out or going 12 rounds really doesn't matter. Terence Crawford didn't get a title belt out of it.
He's rated as, some people have him rated as one of the best welterweights. I got 3 belts, he got 1 belt, and they still rate him higher in the pound for pound rankings, even though I fought the better competition.
Kell Brook, they both finished Kell Brook, so hey, it doesn't really matter. You know, now they really don't have any other similar opponents other than Ordanius Ugas, and here's where the real disparity comes in. Terence Crawford lost to Ordanius Ugas in the amateurs. Errol Spence dominated Ordanius Ugas as a professional. So if you had to say that there was one thing that, you know, these guys share in common when it comes to, you know, their common opponents, is that 9 times out of 10, they both dominated the opponent. So it doesn't really matter if one guy knocked him out or the other guy beat him by 12 rounds. They both won the fight. So, hey, it is what it is, with the exception of Ugas. Ugas a big, strong welterweight. I don't know what division they were at when they fought in the amateurs, so I can't put my 2 cents on that. He beat him, you know, and that's all that matters. He beat him. I don't like the fact that Manny Pacquiao took a L to Ugas, but he beat him, so that's all that matters. So at the end of the day, I think if it's one thing that Terence Crawford, to me, has to establish early, I think it's power. He has to back Errol Spence up. He has to make Errol Spence realize that he can hurt him, and he can hurt him early and often if he wants to.
I shoot the thrill. I dress Chili Chill. All you ladies in the house just can't sit still. I'm a sexy shit. I'm a M16. I'm a 12-gauge lover, if you know what I mean.
And I think that would give a lot more, you know, credibility to Terence Crawford and his fighting abilities, because the one thing I always hear about Terence Crawford, there are 2 things, but the one thing I always do hear about Crawford is his lack of power and his untested chin. So I think both of those are going to have to be A1 tonight for him to win. He's going to have power, and he's going to have to show that he has a credible chin to beat Errol Spence Jr. Those are my keys to victory.
I do want to know who you got for this weekend. It's going to be a banger, y'all.
Ain't nothing changed because they still got to pay. I say where there's a mill, there's a way. I'ma show you how to live because I still got it made. I'm outspoken. My language is broken into a slang, but it's just the dialect I select when I hang. I play it cool. Coolin' is all that I'm about. Just fooling with the girlies, yes, and busting it out. Special ed, you could tell by the style that I choose. I'm creatively superior, yo. I never lose, I never lost, cause I'm the boss and never will, cause I'm still the champion. Chief one, won't lose until I choose, which I won't, cause I don't retreat. I run you over like a truck, leave you dead in the street.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. That like button for me. Sure. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collab or feature a product or your channel on my channel, then feel free to hit my Gmail, because it is a flock of cards at gmail.com. And we are
Hey, yo, brand new money. What you know about it? Niggas wanna claim they bout it, I doubt it. Got your house surrounded, you don't wanna come about it. It's lonely at the top, but at the bottom it's crowded. A nigga ain't ate in a week, yet and still got a pocket full of bread, then you're probably a beast. If you're eating every day of the week, but you ain't got $1 to your name, then you're probably a leech. Preach, thank the Most Highs for making me most flies. Okay, wash on the fat boy died. I know you got something on your mind, don't try it. I got something in the rats in your head, bone flying for sure. Let me see you go, let me see you go, get it. Let me see you go, let me see you go, get it. You know I stack it, don't spin it, own it, don't rent it. Wait a damn minute, I'ma show 'em how to get it. Come on, let me see you go, let me see you go, get it. Let me see you go, let me see you go, get it. Let me see you go, let me see you go, get it. Let me see you go, let me see you go. Hey yo, you can hear the cop sirens and the shots firing. Niggas looking for jobs, but they not hiring. You gotta take it all in your own hands. What you on, bruh? I got my own plans. Get my own land, please move along, man. If you can't respect the fact that I'm a grown man, and I ain't playing, going hard in the paint for my niggas that wanna go hard, but they can't. So I guess I'm going triple hard. I get your girlfriend's nipples hard. Never leave home without my pimpin' card. So please put my name on the wall. That's the greatest of all. Put my name on the brawl. If I lay in the wrong, what I'm saying to y'all, Louis Keys ain't playing with y'all. Middle finger, what I'm waving to y'all. Give a damn if you say hi. Super low, yet I stay high. Louis Keys. Let me see you go. Let me see you go.